Hey guys, Davor here from Tennis House. 3 tips that will definitely help you to improve your volley. The first thing is, how close do you get to the net when you volley? The second one is, do you cut the angles when you volley? And the third one is, do you keep the racket in front of you high enough? And after you're done volleying, how quickly do you get back into that position? So I'm going to explain that a little bit further now. This is what you get in this video. If you like what we do, please take a moment to subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and share the video with some friends. Alright guys, let's get to it. So the first thing is, get close to the net. Why do I have to go close to the net? That's a simple answer. Because as closer you go to the net, as more court you cover, as further you're back, as more your court opens up. So you want to be close to the net. One of the main reasons are that when you're close to the net, your volley becomes easier. You do not want to volley when you're further back and you have to hit up from the service line or somewhere around there, because then your opponent can just put the ball away. And one more important pro is, when you get closer to the net, your court from your opponent opens more up as well, and you have better angles and different angles to use than if you would stand further back on your own side. And now I'm going to show you the video and show you the geometry of the court, and I hope that makes you understand a little bit more what I was just talking about.
Alright, in order to understand what I just said, that if you get closer to the net, you cover more court, I will draw and explain the geometry a little bit. So we assume our opponent hit the ball in the middle of from the middle of the court and goes to the best 2 shots he or she has. If I now draw 2 circles, one at the net and one a little bit further back, you will see the size difference in those circles. So if you are closer to the net, obviously you will cover more court, and if you go further back, the court opens more up. This is very important to understand, because many players stay too far back and can't reach the balls or have to stretch out because they are not covering the court as they are supposed to. So I hope this helps a little bit to understand that.
Next thing is the time. So I was mentioning in the intro, talking about time, having the racket in front. So what is one of the most important things you have to do at the net is, your racket always has to be in front of your rib cage, we call it, and up high. So keep it around a little bit below eye level and keep it up. So why is that? So in the video I'm going to show you in a second, you will see when you take the racket, when you have it low here, it takes a certain time to take it up. And the ball being struck from the other side takes about a second or a little bit less than that to come to you. And then when you have the racket too low and you pull it up, that's already half of the time. So you need to make sure that you're efficient and that you are being smart on the court. So the other thing is that's important, having the racket ready after you volley. How many of you guys, after you volley, watch your own ball and forget about getting ready and dropping the racket again? I think the majority of all of you guys that's watching the video, when you hit the volley, you watch a little bit and you forget about getting ready for the next shot. So what we have to do after we hit the ball is, we hit it, we close in the direction where we hit the ball, and after we hit it, we have to make sure we're in a ready position and have the racket up again. This is something where you do not need a coach, you don't need to spend money to fix that. That's something on you guys. So be efficient and be quick. And this is the video I'm going to show you now to understand a little bit better what I was just talking about.
And in order to understand what I just said, that you don't have time to have a low racket when you come to the net in the preparation, and you don't have time to watch your ball after you hit and not getting ready for the next shot. So my student Brody won here that point, and I want to show you now when his opponent hits the ball right here. We're at 10:59 at the contact point right here. And at contact point from Brody's volley, we're at 11:73. So it's about 1 second with a slice ball hit by his opponent. So just imagine they would hit the ball faster, then we would have less time. And so it's about 1 second. So look now when Brody splits right here, we are about 11:11. And when he gets his racket up here, we're about 11:40. So it's about 0.3 seconds to get the racket up. So it's a third of the whole deal. Remember, a third of the whole motion. So if you as a player now, right in this moment, here, have your racket too low. Brody has it right here, which is fine. If you're holding the racket right here somewhere, you're losing important milliseconds and you don't have any time, as I said. So remember to hold your racket up, and after you're done with the shot, like Brody here, that you get quickly ready again and keep the racket up.
And the last thing to talk about is what I mentioned in the intro, is cutting the angle of the ball. So a lot of you guys that are watching, how many of you, if you ask yourself, when you volley, you guys hit the ball and go lateral? That's one of the biggest mistakes, and it's actually easy to fix. If you go lateral, the ball is pushing you out. Like we saw earlier in the video, the court just opens more up. You always want to go kind of, we call it 45 degree. You cut the ball, you cut the angle of the ball, and you step in. You always want to step in, and you always want to cut the ball because you want the contact in front of you, and you want to be ready. So the video, a little video I made for you, you're going to see Micah Babel, my good friend. She's going to come in. We shot some videos before, and you're going to see when she splits how she goes diagonal forward. So those three things are very crucial. So here's the video. I hope that helps you to understand that a little bit.
All right, guys, in order to understand what I just said, cutting the angle, going in a 45 degree, I have Micah Babel here, my good friend, and I will use this video for you to understand what I was just talking about. So when you see Micah striking here and going towards the volley, she goes in the 45 degree and forward. You want to go forward to cut the angle of the ball. You don't want to go sideways like this, because then the ball is just pushing you further out. So remember, it is very important that you follow that green line I drew here, and you always try to cut the angle of the ball and go forward. So I hope that helps a little bit to understand and give you a little visual.